Hi, this is Simcha Feuerman, here to give you a quick refresher course on healthy communication. Now that many of us are going to be quarantined or staying with close family, communicating and communicating respectfully is key. The famous psychoanalyst Carl Jung remarked that the degree to which you want to affect others is dependent on how much you are willing to be affected. That is the number one principle for effective communication. Are you willing to come into a conversation with somebody else ready to listen loudly? Yes, I'm not making a mistake. Listen loudly. Are you willing to go into a conversation with somebody else ready to hear and understand the other person's point of view as much as you want to be heard? The degree that you want to be heard, the degree that you want to be understood, you need to take those feelings and put them on the back burner, not take them away, just put them on the back burner like two pots on the fire, and come into the conversation willing and ready to consider the other person's point of view. Not that you have to be um, com- giving in and compromising on everything. You know, I used to joke around that compromise is a very good thing. Um, let's say you get into an argument with one of your children, and you say you need to dress up and put on dress shoes instead of sneakers. So compromise. Wear one dress shoe and one sneaker. Obviously, not all compromises are effective, and not all compromises are manageable in uh, a way by making things equal. That's not what works. What works is, before you even consider compromising, is fully and truly being able to understand and see the situation through the other person's eyes and the other person's heart and the other person's thinking. So, if you want to initiate a conversation, you're upset about something, you have a need, you're complaining, maybe people in the house are wasting money right now, leaving the lights on, and you're worried, or you're involved with trying to keep the house clean and everybody's walking around making a mess. Whatever is your concern, are you willing to enter into that conversation fronting with the other person's concern first? Are you willing to say, okay, I have a concern X or concern Y. I'm concerned about the mess in the house. I am noticing this mess. State the objective facts. I am noticing that there's a mess in the house. I am noticing that people are leaving the lights on. I'd like to understand, is there any perspective on this? Is there any idea that I do not understand? I'd like to understand how you see it. Now that accomplishes two really important things. Number one, what it does is that people are less defensive when they feel listened to and they feel understood. So if you give people a chance to explain, well, I was working on it, or I think I'm being conscientious, or whatever the case may be, when you do that, you give people the chance to explain themselves, they automatically become less defensive. Just as we said before, the degree that you want to be effective with others, you have to be willing to be affected. The second point is, guess what? You may not be right. I know that's very hard to believe, but you actually might not be right. Maybe you need to hear something that you don't hear. Maybe people really are working on or working with considerations that you are not aware of. So you must always front whatever you're concerned with. State the facts objectively, then ask, I'm interested in other people's point of view, other people's feelings, other people's perspective. Try to really take it in, and then state your concern too in a collaborative, respectful way. And say, okay, I appreciate that. It might modify what you think. It could be new information that you really will change your mind, or it might not, and you'll say, okay, but this is what I'd like everybody to do, and please consider doing that. So we will talk about more tomorrow in part 2 of Communication Skills Refresher.